when he goes, children still play in the garden. That portion, but then I was just like, I can't stop now. I'm like, M Shadow's vocals are slapping. I can't stop. Hello, my cutie patooties, and welcome into today's video. We have Avenged Sevenfold. This is the song called Acid Rain, and I didn't realize how deep and emotional the song was going to be, but I get into it in this reaction, so stay tuned. But before we do, just a friendly reminder to please like and subscribe. And with that said, let's get into it. Okay. There's a different sound for them.
It's drawn in the sky, so don't shed a tear now. Be thankful for the time. Life wouldn't be so precious, dear, if there never was an end. Stand on the edge now. We've come so far. Through all the dust, it becomes clear. You will always be my heart. There's no death, no end of time when I'm facing it with you. Children still play in the garden. Dance as the sun slips away. Not even stars last forever.
Okay, listen. I know I usually stop like about minute and a half maybe-ish, because usually it flows like that. There's like right before the chorus or right after the chorus, there's like just this little pause where I can be like, okay, thoughts. Not in this song. Literally listening to this, every single verse tied into the next. I'm doing crochet right now, so I'm just like, it's like a song that's just all crocheted together, you know? Like, it's just all tied together. So there wasn't really a good place to stop, and I was like, okay, well, maybe, I was like, when he goes, children still play in the garden, that portion, but then I was just like, I can't stop now. I'm like, M Shadow's vocals are slapping. I can't stop. So I was like, okay, we're gonna do that one, and then if there's a little bit of a pause, which there was, I was like, oh, it's not that. Anyways, beautiful, beautiful. I have many thoughts on this, so we're just gonna start from the very beginning. It was a very interesting transition from these. You had the piano, but you also had this like ambient sound going on. You could like with the wind, and it sounded like an airplane. And it went from that and tied it right into the it was kind of like the intro and tied right into the song beautifully. Second thing, the freaking guitar in the beginning. You probably saw me. I was just like, close my eyes, and I was like, taking me out, honey. I'm like, oh, it sounded lovely. So you have that guitar moment there in the beginning as well. And then we get to, this song is called Acid Rain. The sounds, the tone, and even the way that M Shadows sings in this is really giving kind of this 80s ballad, rock ballad. And I think, and I could be completely wrong, but I feel like this song is its own message. Absolutely. It's its own being. But I feel like from the sound to even the name of the song, Acid Rain, my brain goes to Purple Rain. Purple rain, purple rain, you know? So I don't know if it's just kind of like a little homage to them while still keeping this song their own, you know, Avenged Sevenfold, their own song. That's just my brain. So I don't know if that's what is happening, but I feel like it might be a little bit of an homage. M Shadow's vocals, as always. We start off a lot softer, and then when you get to the children still play in the garden and then into the chorus, so the pre-chorus and the chorus, it has this very, it's da 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 da, and it follows that pattern every other lyric, and he's just belting, he's just showing us his heart, because it just has this like sound to it. Sometimes I feel like I use actions instead of words, and hopefully you understand what I'm trying to convey. But it is lovely. And then what we just listened to at the end of that, he added a little bit more grit than he had in previous portions, and I was just like, ah! Yes, sir. When we look at the lyrics themselves, our day has come, it's drawn into the sky, so don't shed a tear now. Be thankful for the time. Life wouldn't be so precious dear if there never was an end. So kind of talking about, and I feel like this is a common theme if you talk about immortality. Because, you know, a lot of people are like, I would love to be immortal, but then some people are like, no, I would not want to be immortal. And there's a whole conversation around that. And this is one of the takes on it, or this is one of the points, is that life would not be so precious if there never was an end. Like if there were never any stakes, if there were never any, if there was never an end to anything, if there was never, you know, this feeling of being grateful that I am here right now in this moment. If you're immortal, you're like, well, I get tons of those moments, so like, why should I care? And there's that whole conversation. When it says, children still play in the garden, dance as the sun slips away. We stand on the edge now, we've come so far, and through all the dust it becomes clear, you will always be in my heart. There's no death, no end of time when I'm facing it with you. Through all the dust it becomes clear. So the dust is the trauma, the hardships, the ups and downs, the struggles, whatever it is. And then he goes on to say, you will always be in my heart. There's no death, no end of time when I'm facing it with you. Like, you will always be with me. And as long as you're with me, I can handle anything. you know, like you are my constant companion, and with you anything is possible. And I personally think he's talking about Rev in that moment. When you go on to the next verses, it feels kind of like that verse in itself is kind of almost like a standalone verse in a sense. Like it kind of, it's more personal versus the other verses so far are more kind of, it's almost like it feels more bigger picture, the other verses, whereas this one is very pointed in what it's talking about and talking about the individual versus like talking about the sky, talking about being thankful for time, talking about, you know, children still play in the garden, dance as the sun slips away. Like it seems very, it's a lot bigger in what it's talking about versus like, this is how I'm feeling, you know? Not even stars last forever, cleanse us, acid rain. I'm not 100% sure why. Acid rain? Acid rain, it seems incredibly violent. Cleanse us, acid rain. It seems very violent. I don't know. I'm not sure yet, but we're gonna continue listening and then we will see. There's the rain. I like how they put that at the end. Kind of like after all the chaos, after all the emotional strife, I think we've all had that moment where we've just stepped outside and either stood in the rain or just listened to it and let that kind of feeling wash over us. All as a whole, what I get from this song is that he's kind of seeing the beauty in the fact that we are all mortal. And time still moves. Children are born. They play in the garden. The sun slips away. So the day comes and goes. And when he says not even stars last forever, kind of not even the most beautiful human beings last forever. And I mean beautiful as in soul-wise. And the acid rain is kind of, I don't know, it feels like it's like our time on Earth is the acid rain. And at the end of it all, depending on what you believe, of course, when he says send us home, it makes me feel like he's talking about, being reunited with the people he loves and kind of coming full circle, going back to the maker, Again, depending on what you believe. I don't practice religion myself, but I do have a Christian background growing up, but I don't practice religion now, but that's just kind of how my brain connects it all together. And I mean, and then you will always be in my heart. There's no death, no end of time when I'm facing it with you. And so it's kind of like, you will eternally be with me. And again, I think the song is about Rev, and it's this power ballad, not only talking about time, talking about love, talking about, and this song I feel like can be so powerful for anybody who's really lost anybody and having to come to terms with that they're not there anymore, and accepting that and knowing that you'll see them again one day, and I like, that's how this feels for me. But all in all, I think that was absolutely lovely. I love how they just had the rain sounds at the end, because I think that is so, like, after all of it, just this just falling rain. It's soothing. It's soothing. And I think this song in itself is kind of coming to terms with the way that life is, and kind of having the rain afterwards is kind of dropping into that acceptance that we are all mortal, and sometimes we lose people too soon, and we'll see them again someday. Time shall pass, kind of feeling, soothing feeling, that's what I get from this. I think that's very comforting, and I think that's very powerful. But thank you guys so much for recommending this, and I hope you enjoyed my reaction to this. All I'll say is I wish you guys the best week possible. If the song was in any way triggering for you, I hope that you take care of yourselves and be compassionate for yourselves. Your feelings are valid, and treat yourself to something nice. I know whenever I get hit by something emotionally, I'm like, be nice to yourself. And what is something that, you know, you can treat yourself? Treat yourself to something nice, you know, because you deserve it. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, y'all.